Hello, my name is Tomas Ramos. I'm the Vice President of Human Rights for AFT Washington. On December 10th, we celebrate an important milestone with the Universal Declaration of Human Rights. The document was drafted on December 10, 1948, in Paris, France. It was drafted by a group of experts, representatives in legal and cultural fields from all over the world. In the United Nations website, un.org, we find the description of the document as a common standard of achievement for all peoples and all nations. The Human Rights Declaration sets out for the first time fundamental human rights to be universally protected. The document has been translated into more than 500 languages. It is widely recognized as having inspired and paved the way for the adoption of more than 70 human rights treaties applied today on a permanent basis. My colleagues and I encourage you to learn more about and to celebrate with us this important milestone.
Whereas recognition of the inherent dignity and of the equal and inalienable rights of all members of the human family is the foundation of freedom, justice, and peace in the world. Whereas disregard and contempt for human rights have resulted in barbarous acts which have outraged the conscience of mankind, and the advent of a world in which human beings shall enjoy freedom of speech and belief and freedom from fear and want has been proclaimed as the highest aspiration of the common people. Whereas it is essential, if man is not to be compelled to have recourse as a last resort to rebellion against tyranny and oppression, that human rights should be protected by the rule of law. Whereas it is essential to promote the development of friendly relations between nations.
Whereas the peoples of the United Nations have in the Charter reaffirmed their faith in fundamental human rights, in the dignity and worth of the human person, and in the equal rights of men and women, and have determined to promote social progress and better standards of life in larger freedom. Whereas member states have pledged themselves to achieve, in cooperation with the United Nations, the promotion of universal respect for and observance of human rights and fundamental freedoms.
Whereas a common understanding of these rights and freedoms is of the greatest importance for the full realization of this pledge.
Now, therefore, the General Assembly proclaims this Universal Declaration of Human Rights as a common standard of achievement for all peoples and all nations, to the end that every individual and every organ of society, keeping this declaration constantly in mind, shall strive by teaching and education to promote respect for these rights and freedoms, and by progressive measures, national and international, to secure their universal and effective recognition and observation, both among the peoples of member states themselves and among the peoples of territories under their jurisdiction.
Hello, my name is Edna Cortez. I'm a proud member of AFT National Human and Civil Rights Committee, as well as on AAPI Committee. I am also a member of AFT Washington Human Rights Committee. I am currently the Labor Executive Council Chairperson for the Washington State Nurses Association and serve on the Board of Directors.
Hi, my name is Julia Barcott. I have the honor of serving on the AFT National Women's Rights Committee, the Washington State Labor Council Women's Rights Committee, the Washington AFT Human Rights Committee, and I am also honored to be the Vice President of the Washington State Nurses Association Board of Directors. You have watched our AFT Washington members read the UN Declaration of Human Rights. We think that at this moment in time, this declaration is more important than ever.
We have inalienable rights as human beings to be free from oppression and live in dignity. We have the right to be free from discrimination and tyranny. We have the right to food, healthcare, education, and housing.
We have the right to form a union and espouse union membership which is the inherent power of solidarity that it gives working people. We as union members each day fight for the dignity of our community, our students, our patients, our coworkers, and our families. The UN Declaration is something to be upheld on a daily basis, and that we can work together so that we can uphold the dignity of fellow human beings. This declaration is a reminder of why we as union members, leaders, and members of our community must be committed to continuing the fight for our rights.
We have the ability to make positive changes and must take up the challenge of the work to maintain these rights. New challenges will be coming, but we need to be there for each other to meet the challenges together. Thank you, and we stand with you.
As members of AFT and WSNA, to uphold human rights.